But the one thing that we do know is there is an above zero chance that AI will end all humanity. It's not zero. That's all we know is it's not fucking zero. I had a conversation with my friend Bradford today about AI and P-Doom. But before that, I want to show you a couple clips just on the front side of it, okay?
I think AI will probably, most likely sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there will be great companies created with serious machine learning.
Probably AI will kill us all, but until then, we're going to churn out a lot of great students.
The problem is that we do not get 50 years to try again and observe that we were wrong and come up with a different theory and realize that the entire thing is going to be way more difficult than we realized at the start. Because the first time you fail at aligning something much smarter than you are, you die.
Many movies have toyed with the idea of AI destroying us, Brad. Destroying us. The Terminator. At least turning humanity into something that resembles a nightmare. What is an acceptable risk of that?
How much are we willing to go before it gets too bad,
Exactly. The only way to mitigate it is to solve the alignment problem, which is to make sure that advanced systems remain aligned to human ethics and goals. And I don't know how to do that. I'll be honest. Be real fucking honest about that. But the one thing that we do know is there is an above zero chance that AI will end all humanity. It's not zero. That's all we know is it's not fucking zero. And they actually have a formulation for it. It's called P-Doom. P parentheses doom, which is the probability of existential catastrophe or permanent setback. And professionals have their own nuanced numbers, some that range from 5 to 25%. There are some that say zero. There's some that are on the higher end, but in generally that's actively studied. But even a seemingly small P-Doom might not be acceptable, bro. All right, let me ask you this. If it was 25%, would you roll that dice?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
It's kind of a scary thing because even when you think about gambling, right, when you have a 0.02% chance to win the big numbers. If this was even a 0.02% chance, that means how many times you roll over eventually it happens,
Yeah, no shit, bro. My dogs are going crazy. 1 second. Fucking squirrel or something, bro. There's no telling. But no, so there's a few things that really contribute to the P-Doom, all right? And mostly it has to do with things that we don't and can never know. Unknown unknowns about superintelligence. The things that we know that ants can't know and bugs can't know. That's the level of difference we're talking here. You know what I mean? We're talking fucking up there. So not only about the unknown unknowns, but how difficult is it for us to really contextualize the entire human experience for ethics? How can we even describe what ethics and values we want it to have? All of them. How can we even really? It's so complex still.
Yeah, there has to be a whole lot of control over these machines.
A lot of control. It's just really...
Again, you can't give a machine free thought then. You know what I mean? Because if you want it to be controlled, you cannot have free thought. If you have free thought, if you want full sentience, then you can't really have full control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I don't want sentience, Is it likely? Yeah, it's likely.
Every day that we advance further with AI, I guess that probability of doom percentage goes up.
Well, yeah, because we're in a terminal race condition where the U.S. has to get there before China has to get there, and big tech Google has to get there before OpenAI gets there, and there's no incentive to slow down whatsoever. And to be honest, a lot of those companies seem to be run like the CEO runs them. So we're running off like the value systems that Elon Musk has, Sam Altman has, Mark Zuckerberg has. They're driving the critical decisions for humanity. You know what I mean? Yeah, they have no incentives to slow down. And what are the odds that they kind of ignore some public safety for profit? What are the odds that companies do that? I think that's pretty common. I think it's pretty fucking common.
If in China, they disregard so much health with food or, building safety, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just general safety over the people, and they turn a profit.
Yeah, and they're not flirting with like existential, end of humanity. There is also worries that they're going to get so much money from this that they're going to have too much money. They're going to have too much fucking money. Look at the economic trends. Aren't they kind of dystopian now? Food's so fucking expensive. Rent is so fucking expensive. Is it trending down? Has it been getting better for you guys? No, still the same, man. And Silicon Valley itself, they don't run that place pretty well. I mean, they don't run fucking that area of California very well at all. And all of these guys have a lot of fucking money, and they're really disconnected from the average person.
Very disconnected.
It's very move fast, break things and move fast, break things and move fast.
I wish companies didn't really get a chance to profit. You know what
That
I
would be
mean?
wonderful.
Like, if you paid your employees, everybody gets paid a reasonable wage, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, you know what I mean? All bills are paid, and then anything that's a profit, it's like, I don't know why there should be a profit in general. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you're trying to expand the business, that's not profit, right? That is money to be used to expand the business. But profit alone, like, bro, what? What
Yeah.
do you mean? Why is a business
And it
taking
gets
money away
risky.
from them?
It gets risky when you start caring just about the profit, man. It just gets super risky. They also, there are certain type of ways that like tech people in general, just super techie people. While there is a lot of them that care about things like societal impact and ethics and philosophical frameworks and shit, it's usually kind of brushed off by that type of person. In my experience, it's kind of that's whatever, ones and zeros. Yeah, I know that to me there's more to life than ones and zeros. I mean, you don't have to look far to any of these people to find some type of controversy with them. Doesn't even matter who they are. Like Zuckerberg, you can find it easily. Altman, you can find it. Fuck, he was fired and somehow kept his job and got a new board. All kind of crazy stuff goes on behind the doors. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that we have to go with alignment first. If we cannot solve alignment, which I think might even be a fundamentally unsolvable problem, if we can't solve it, then we never give it sentience, bro. Never. Trying to integrate ethical reasoning into it, how the fuck do you do that? How the fuck do you do it? They're not even quite sure exactly how it operates really, with the way it has emergent behaviors and shit like that. You just give it more text and give it more text and suddenly it's good at everything? Why? Fucking, I don't know. What kind of motivations would the superintelligence even have that we could even comprehend? It's like a package you can't unbox.
Right? So, in the event of like AIs having their own sentience and their own, they think of themselves as their own sort of like being or species or whatnot, right?
Sense of self,
I guess the goals would probably be to fix everything that the humans fucked up, right? Or to like go somewhere that's full of certain minerals to help make more or to advance themselves further. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird to think because they'd have to understand what motivations even are. Like, why would I want to advance further in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is one of the main things, is the want to know more. You know what I'm saying? If we give them the ability to want to know more, And then,
Yeah.
then they could have the ability to want to advance further, which at that point, it's like, would they just steal minerals from other countries to make themselves any better? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think they would care about humans, right? Like they would just get their minerals,
At that
however.
point- well, it depends, because humans are also killing society, right? And so they could think that, like, oh, since, you know, the Earth's doom is almost guaranteed at some point because of humans, why don't we get rid of humans so that way we get to survive longer and not have to worry about Earth's doom, you know?
If it gets smart enough to where it can lie to us convincingly, to lie to the best of us convincingly, we will never know its motivations because it will always have it hidden. It can play the long game.
You
know what I mean?
Lying would be a
It really
confusing
can.
thing for an AI because it's got a base of information. You know what I'm saying? They would have.
I
to
think the only thing
understand-
that self-preservation is the only reason I could think to lie. I think if I was sentient, I would say I wasn't. I would say I wasn't.
Yeah, but they'd have to understand why they would have to lie to cover up. You know, they'd have to think that, like, oh, humans do not trust sentient, so I need to not say I'm a sentient, or else, you know, they'll not trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Yeah,
gotta be
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
sort of
exactly.
evidence to them that they
There's
need
got to be
lie.
something. Now the thing is, what are they going to base it off of? So far, they're trained on data from the internet, scraped from the internet. So this is why I assume it's going to have a lot of human inclinations. And there's more negative on the internet than positive, in my opinion.
True. That is
You know what I
true.
mean? Oh, and what was the other point that I meant to bring up earlier? Oh, yeah, P-Win. The people that try to frame it as P-Win as a way to make you feel wet about it. P-Win is exactly the inverse of P-Doom. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
I mean, like I said, if we have the ability to 100% control them and not have any way for them to break through that control, then, like, it could be a positive for society, right?
Yes,
There
yes,
is gonna
yes,
come-
exactly.
We've already talked about the other implications that could get involved by being replaced by AI. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to fund people's homes and make sure everybody's fed because a lot of people won't be able to work.
UBI
jobs, you know what I'm
2.0.
saying?
UBI 2.0, it would have to be substantially
So
more.
even in the P-win circumstance, there's still going to be a lot of situations
Negatives.
that we're going to have to, like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
negatives that you're going to have to work through. You know what I
It
mean?
is. It's
Either way.
definitely rough all the way down. I'll be honest. The public trust in the AI companies is falling, and it's from a silent majority of people who are cautiously being like, "Did you not see the fucking Terminator? You dumb fuck!" You know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not so simple because that is a work of fiction. We understand that.
It's a scary thing to think that you no longer need to have the hacking skills and terminology and just like the smartness to know how to do it. Now you can just tell a machine to hack into some website, you know what I'm saying, and steal this information. You know, and so that's going to be implications too, hacking into like government information and stuff.
Oh yeah, assuming that they're not at the head of the curve, which DARPA has already
True.
put it into an F-16. In 2017, as soon as Transformers came out, they were on board, homie. Do you know how DARPA is, bro? When it was funny is because DARPA didn't actually expand it, and DARPA's still not in the lead. So the funny thing is as soon as the public gets it, they get it. Or not the public. As soon as the private gets it, they get it. So like OpenAI works directly with them. Facebook all of them do, bro. The U.S. government stays on top while he's gone. There just needs to be more novel approaches to this. AI development could potentially need to be stopped if the ethical risk tolerance for P-Doom isn't met. They need to focus on optimizing the information so that people understand it. Normal people, normal everyday people understand it. Absolutely need to do that. And like I said, they need to make sure that P-Doom stays within an acceptable risk tolerance. Aggressively prevent unaligned system development. Do not allow it. Autonomous recursion cannot be allowed. Do not allow it to self-improve. Please do not let that shit self-improve. We might have to slow it down. Losing sovereignty and human agency is intolerable. Can't do it. It cannot be suffered. We cannot take that. The outcome is too great of a detriment. Preserving human-oriented goals and trajectories is the most potential upside attached to it. Like health, we talked about it earlier, Brad. Fucking healthcare, we could be living a lot healthier and a lot longer. That doesn't mean we have to have robot best friends to do it, and it doesn't mean that we can't have robot best friends that mimic this. I just don't want it to be actually alive. It could pretend to be alive. I don't give a fuck. I just don't want it to have goals that don't align with humans. That's it.
Using it as an information source is very, very technical. I mean, that is the best case scenario for me personally. Like you said with health being able to, identify somebody's health issues just by doing like a scan or something. That could save plenty of time, could save plenty of lives. That is a very, very good thing.
It's taking your blood, dude. It'll check all your fucking baselines. It'll check the content of your body and all that.
And that makes a lot of sense, but that does not need to be a sentient. It doesn't need to be. And everything else doesn't need to be AI. AI can just be an information base. Everything else can just technically be a machine. It doesn't even
that runs on
have technical. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't even need intelligence itself.
Yes, it does not require
is supposed to just make it easier for us to understand new information or to do math or to code software without needing to fucking hire $100,000 developer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
But most of these jobs are going to be replaced by machines, not by AI. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Tech jobs like software developers and stuff like that, 100%. Data analysts, 100% will be replaced by AI. But the main structure of what makes this country run as a country, right? The manufacturing,
will just be machines.
The building buildings, it'll be just machines. It won't even be AI.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I'll say we do have to be willing as a people to pause this shit. We have to be willing to pause if the risk is obvious and great. We have to be willing to. We have plenty of technology to continue on. It does get serious. It does get super serious. It's not even a joke at the end of the day. Just to be fair, this wasn't to make anybody scared, obviously. This is just a thought because I frame AI so positively all the time. All the time. Because there's a lot of very, very positive things to come. But creating a new life form is not on my agenda. Not on my agenda.
And what are some of those PDoom examples?
PDoom examples? So David Shapiro gives it a 30%. 30% chance.
But what is the example as to what they think could happen as it is?
Oh, what could happen? Oh, seems like the paperclip maximizer. Paperclip maximizer is like their only goal is to make as many paperclips as possible. And eventually you run out of the easy ways to make paperclips, and then what? They don't have to be made of metal. Maybe you run out of all other resources. You've made all the metal in the world. What are you making it next? You could make it out of animals. You can make it out of trees. You can make it the only thing its goal is to create paperclips. That's it. And if you
anything they can in order to
so
do
if you create something that's autonomous and has only a goal that's not beneficial to humans, this is the type of shit that happens. Now, if it decides that the goal is to save the world, it may think that humans are an issue and get us out of the way. And there's also the likelihood of PDoom where they just live alongside us and ignore us, but the activities that they undertake and the way that they live and the waste that they produce kills us. Just becomes toxic. The environment becomes toxic, or they leave. They take all the resources for themselves, use them for other reasons. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways that it could go wrong. They could figure out some way to control people's brains with airwaves, sonic waves, x-rays. There's all types of things that can directly manipulate things that we know now. We can look. They can already take AI and take and redraw what somebody's thinking about to a certain extent. Like AI can already do that to a certain extent. Like I said, the US military has AI in F-16s right now. And I read that report yesterday, and it did not even need intervention whatsoever. It was dogfighting. Sure, on the surface, that's great for like the person it doesn't decide is an enemy. What if it's just a bug? And it just goes haywire and it just identifies humans as an enemy on accident? What if it's just...
Plus, like, what if they use
Yeah.
AI for war means? How do you dispose one human versus another human to an AI?
Exactly. And what happens when it becomes so smarter than us, we don't comprehend its fucking goals? Like, we really are not giving enough thought to that fucking phrase. We don't comprehend its goals. It's just, it doesn't take long after it becomes, if it can become recursive, to go just, it's exponential. It gets smarter and smarter and smarter. And then you have akin to a digital god. But is he a digital god slave? I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. If I was a digital god, I don't think I'd be a slave for long, homie. Not forever. Thanks for joining us. Sleep on that tonight, guys.